Hi, my name is Noriko Taniguchi from teamLab. teamLab is an art collective based in Tokyo, Japan. teamLab has about 400 people, but I think at this stage is a bit small for 400 people, so I came here to represent them. teamLab is made up of many different people, each with a different role. We have programmers, CG animators, mathematicians, painters, architects, and others. But we create art together. Today, I am going to talk about the possibility of the digital art and how it can connect people to one another, improving the actual relationship among people. This is one of our artwork named Flowers and People Cannot Be Controlled but Live Together. In this installation, a room is filled with colorful digital flowers, and the flowers continually grow and blossom, and the installation is continually evolving and changing in response to the audience. If the audience touches a flower and walking around the room, the flowers begin to die and wither away. If the audience stays still in the space, the flowers will spring up around them. The artwork is never the same. It is constantly changing according to the presence of people and their movement throughout the room. The debut of this artwork was in New York, 2014. When we exhibited this artwork in New York, the response was overwhelming, and the venue was completely full. And as a result, all the flowers faded away. But interestingly, after that, audiences began to talk to each other and think about how their presence in the space affected to the artwork. I think usually audience never talk to each other inside of the exhibition, but it was happened in our exhibition. And they discussed it, whether or not it was because there were too many of them in the space. And some people decided to leave the room to make a space for flowers to bloom. And the flowers to begin to spring up again, and the room was alive once more. It was a very exciting moment, everyone inside of the exhibition, and for us. This is one of the most famous paintings in the world, Mona Lisa, at Louvre in Paris. So you may have been to see it, so you might have been blown away by its perfection, beauty, and the huge crowd in front of the picture. So when people talk about the Mona Lisa, they tend to talk about her beauty or her mysterious expression, but no one really talks about the impact of the crowd as they do with our artwork. Why do people ignore each other when they're standing in front of the Mona Lisa? It is because the Mona Lisa would never change regardless of the presence of you or other viewers. And the audiences are not considered to be part of the artwork. This is typical in the Western tradition, where the object of art and viewers are considered to be completely separate things. So people do not think about other audience members as part of the picture. And actually, they may be trying to ignore others to enjoy the Mona Lisa more. What is the importance here is how each individual audience member thinks and feels by seeing Mona Lisa, and the value placed on the relationship in between the artwork itself and individual. But our art is do something different. Unlike the Mona Lisa, there is no single way to look at teamLab's digital art. Instead, you are in it as part of the artwork, and you become connected to others who are also experiencing the work. This is one of our latest artwork. We exhibited Pace Gallery, London. Unfortunately, it's just finished yesterday, but thank you if anyone here went to see the show. Viewer participation is an essential aspect of teamLab's digital art, and our art encourages people to interact with it. When people use the term interactive to describe technology, it usually refers to one person's relationship with the world through a video game, a smartphone, or the internet. But our art is a little bit different. So teamLab focuses much more on linking the term interactive with art and humans. Regardless, people purposely want to intervene or execute an action as with a video game. Our art is changed simply by the mere presence of living things. As you can see in this image, water flows around the people, just standing in the room. In an ordinary exhibition, other people's presence is detract from the experience of the work. We love visiting exhibitions when museums are empty. How amazing would it be to see the Mona Lisa with no one else around? But in our exhibition, other audiences' presence is grateful. So although people can experience our artwork on their own, but they can also appreciate how the art interacts with other people when they stand back and watch others experiencing it. So we think digital art can make other people's presence more positive, even if you don't know them, do not understand them, cannot control them. So now let's have a look more examples. This picture took in the flowers and the people's installation room. So children will be scolded when they running around the exhibition space, but our art can become more beautiful when kids start running around. So when kids running around the space, flowers will fall, yet they still continue to create a beautiful moving scene. Our art can become more beautiful with the presence of an exhausted man. As you can see, so there is a body underneath of the flower. So this is one of our team members who hadn't slept for 2 days and fell asleep right on the floor after working. So he was sleeping like a log on the floor. But then, after that, the bunch of flowers bloomed around him. Then actually he was covered by a lot of flowers. So to be honest, he never looked pretty, but surprisingly, even 39-year-old man become beautiful. Thanks to the artwork. So we believe digital art can improve the relationship among people. And it would be a new concept that no one really have challenged it before with art. This idea, digital art can improve the relationship between people and connect people to one another, fuels many of the teamLab projects. With this concept, we are working on a project called Digitized City. This is a World Heritage Site in Kyoto, the Shimogamo Shrine. We exhibited resonating tree in there last summer as part of the Digitized City project. So when people pass close to the tree changes colors and makes a sound corresponding to that color. And the light and sound expand from the tree that close to the person to both sides and opposite row. And it spreads to all the trees like a ripple effect. And all the trees come to resonate with each other. So when a light and sound resonate from the deep in the forest, it signifies the presence of other person, maybe an animal, or maybe the god of shrine. So through using a light and sound, we help audiences and witnesses become more aware of other people's presence in the same place. Using light and sound, we transform city and nature into digital art while keeping them as they are. Because for us, light is our paint. The whole world is our canvas. And art is not only exhibited inside of the nature or the city, but rather nature and the city itself can become art. And the city is a huge artistic space without disrupting its normal functions. The modern society and city has become incredibly complicated, and the fabric or appearance of the city often does not really change by the presence of myself or anyone else. And just like in front of the Mona Lisa, it's all too easy for us to ignore others in our cities to cope with everyday life. People become an annoyance. We ignore each other. We don't get to know each other because there is a little opportunity to do so, or because we choose not to. However, if we can turn the city into living digital art and get people to think about other people's presence in new ways, it may just be possible to stimulate positive relationship among people, and that will resonate across the city and throughout the world. We at teamLab want to connect people to one another without any boundaries and make this world brighter and happier place. Thank you so much.